Hi, this is my first YouTube video. I'm gonna be doing my makeup. I already kind of did my eyebrows, but I just have a lot to say. I have a lot to say all the time. I'm always just like thinking and talking to myself, and I have like all these big ideas and thoughts that I just need to put out there. And I thought, you know, um, why not? Why not put it on YouTube and have it as a way so Sylvia, my daughter, can always kind of look back at it and kind of see what I go through in life and how to navigate things. Um, I'm a little nervous, no lie, which is kind of crazy because at some point in my life, throughout my entire life, I've always put myself out there. I've like when I was little and Facebook was barely growing, I used to take song requests from people and I would post videos of myself singing, even though I was an awful singer, but just because I wanted to interact with people and like do something. I've deleted all of those videos. I've also used to try to vlog about my days at school, and I would post it, and I wouldn't tell anybody about my YouTube channel. But I've always on and fucking off. I've always done this in some form, and I think it just comes naturally to me. And I've stopped resisting the fact that this is just something I want to do for myself. And I've left that shame behind. And actually, that's what I wanted to talk about. Um, because according to the title of this video, you're probably like, what the fuck do you mean you left shame at a Korean bathhouse? And I would love to go into detail about that, actually. I would absolutely adore that. First of all, I recorded this video. I tried to while I was driving back, which maybe is not the best idea, recording while you're driving. Um, and the audio came out shit anyways, so I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'll sleep on what I'm feeling and try again in the morning. And it was great. That's a great idea because now I can actually like say what I want to say and how I want to say it. So, hi, my name is Joanna, and I have a friend named Hunter, and he is super courageous. That's like the first word I think of when I think of his name. He is so courageous. He's so brave. He's so free. Like, there's so much about this man that I admire. And I told him straight up that I would take these aspects of him and I would place them in my own life. And he recently quit his job of 5 years to go explore South America, and he's doing absolutely great down there. And I love him, and I love hearing his stories. And one thing about Hunter is he would always solo travel across America and just go wherever his heart told him to go, and he would follow. He trusted himself that much to let his himself be the guidance. And he would take week-long trips around the western United States and all these road trips. He'd go to all these hiking spots by himself. Granted, he is a man, so it's less dangerous, but I always told him, I want that. I want to do that, and I'm going to do that in your honor, and I'm going to do things like that so my daughter can also have somebody like you to look up to because having people with such strong qualities and like implanting that in her while she's so young is so, so important to me. Anyways, so I took my first solo travel thing to Georgia. I've been to Georgia many times and I've always been with other people though, never by myself. So I thought, you know what? It's close. It's last minute. I'm just gonna go. And I found a Korean spa. I'm a little sick, by the way. So if I sound fucking rough, that's why. But I found a Korean bathhouse and I went and I planned my day around it and you show up and they tell you, it's a full on nudity. It's a nude environment. And I was like, that's fine. It's just other women. And, you know, fundamentally in my brain, logically, intellectually, I was like, yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine. I can do that. I can be naked around people. I have no shame in my body. But I do. I do have shame in my body. Um, I did. I did have shame in my body, especially after I had my daughter. My body just changed so much. It, expanded and then it shrunk, and my body went through so many beautiful things to bring her here, but it doesn't look the same. And that's just kind of its own mourning process, how you look and how you feel in your own skin after having something alive in you, feeling it in you. That's its own weird trip out thing. But damn, what am I doing with my makeup? Okay, I'm doing foundation next. But um yeah, so I went to this Korean bathhouse, and they gave me a little uniform to wear, and so I wore this around, and when I went to the sauna and like jacuzzi section, um, everybody was naked. Like there was nobody there with uniforms, and there's nowhere to put it. So I was like, oh, I have to get naked in the locker room and come out. And yeah, okay. So it took a lot out of me because I went, by myself. I didn't really know the rules of this place, but I tried. I got naked and I walked in there. I showered in front of all these women, and nobody cares. Nobody cares because they're literally all women. They're all there for the same thing. Men can go too, but they have like their own section. And so I went and I got naked and I showered and I went in a sauna first because I was so nervous. I didn't know like what to do. I didn't know where to go. Um, and I was just sitting in there by myself, and then these two friends come in. They're whispering like out of respect for me and like my quiet time. And I'm like, "Hey guys, this is my first time here. Like, have you ever gotten a massage here?" And they were telling me about it. And they quickly were very nice to me, and they were like, "We love this place. We come here like all the time." And then this other woman walked in there, and it was her first time there too. She went with all her friends for her birthday. And so she was telling me after the other first two ladies left that she had also done solo trips, and she took 2 weeks to travel just throughout Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, Texas, Oklahoma City, just that area. And she was telling me how that was the best thing she could have ever done for herself, and how she found herself in that trip, and how now at 34, she looks great for 34, by the way. She, like, she couldn't imagine who she would be if she had not done that for herself. And I was just listening to her. I was letting her take up the space in that sauna to just tell me, reflect about her life and how she got where she's at, and I don't know, it's just weird. When you talk to strangers and they kind of tell you about their life, it's just weird kind of seeing how the universe brings you together just to share tales of each other's lives and go on about your path. Um, it's always so beautiful to me, though. It's one of my favorite things. But, anyways, I'm sorry for the weird angle. I'm sorry for the weird lighting and the weird camera. All I have is my laptop. Anyways, back to the sauna. She was telling me about her life, her travels, her adventures, and I was just listening. And she was very beautiful in the way that she spoke about her life and the way she loved being on the road and like just everything. I was just watching her talk while we were both naked, and it was great. And then we started to talk about shame, and she was like, at first I was really scared to take my clothes off. I thought everybody was fucking with me, but then I did it, and now I guess it's really not that big of a deal, which I think is crazy because I went to this place, right? It's nudity, and I knew that, but I wasn't expecting to also be like emotionally naked with these women. But I'm glad it happened. Like, really, really glad that happened. Because then I got a massage for the first time, and it was so nice. Just like being in my body and just feeling it, and like having somebody like take care of me, because I always feel like I'm the only one having to take care of me. And it's hard, having to take care of a daughter, having to take care of responsibilities, your baby, you gotta make food all the time. Obviously, you gotta make food for yourself anyways, but and then your job, and then like, I have a mom who wants me to take over her business, but I don't want her business. Her business is not mine. That's not for me. But, having that placed upon you that, no, you have to do this for me because you're my daughter type shit. It's just, I don't like that thinking. I hate that thinking. And then, anyways, I got a massage, and it was nice. It was really great. And I loved it. I loved being somewhere where people were taking care of themselves and like just being themselves fully, and like not caring about anything except their well-being. And maybe I'm speaking more like metaphorically about this Korean bathhouse than like actually how deep it actually is, right? But that's just that's just how I see the world sometimes. And I like to try to find meaning in everything, including in this Korean bathhouse. And so I was kind of walking around. I did the massage. I did the jacuzzis. I was just, laughing with strangers in this like warm tub. And then I went to a wet sauna because a lot of women were like, you need to go to the wet sauna. It gets everything out. And I was like, okay. And I'm getting over sickness. So I went to the wet sauna and I found a woman taking out her braids. And it was really hot in there. I don't know how she was able to do it, but she was like, I've had these braids in for like 10 weeks and they're really dirty, but I'm on the last one now. I'm finally on the last one. I've been in here for like not that long, really, because the steam helps take out your braids. And she was just telling me about her hair. And I was listening about her hair. And she was telling me about her struggles, accepting her natural hair. And she was like, um, we live in a society that used to shame people like me for having natural hair and like expressing themselves with it. And, you're so conditioned to wear fake hair that you don't even know how to take care of your natural hair anymore. And she was just telling me, and I was letting her take up the space in the sauna again. And um, I was just listening to her talk about her struggles with her hair and how she's finally at 36 at the point in her life where she feels happy and proud of her natural hair and she's trying to learn how to take care of it. And then she told me about the shame that she felt for having to learn so late, the regret of having to learn how to take care of her own beautiful natural hair so late into life. And then she was telling me about her self-love journey. She's like, it started with me just trying to learn how to take care of my natural hair and taking care of myself and like who I am fully, authentically. And it led into this whole journey of self-love. And, I realized I didn't love myself. I let the society tell me that I didn't love myself and that I shouldn't love myself and that I should hate my natural hair and that I should hate me, everything that's natural about me. And I was just listening. I was just listening to her. And the way she spoke about it, like I could feel her shame and her regret and her like being just evaporating with the steam in the fucking sauna. And I'm about to cry just thinking about it because like she was really like hurt. You could tell she was really hurt. And so, oh my God, I'm gonna cry. I'm just gonna cry baby. I love being a crybaby though. I love crying. But anyways, she told me um about her self-love journey and hold on, I gotta do this powder shit real quick. I just baked real quick. Not too long because then it gets like cakey for me. Oh no, my nose is running. Oh, nasty, nasty, sick. Jesus Christ. I'm dying over here. Anyways, and I watched her shame live there for a second. And then she quickly caught it and she was like, but no more, no more. And she said, I'm not afraid to be who I am fully. And that's why I'm taking my braids out in this public bathhouse in this steam because it's easy for me. And I'm going to do what's easy for me and what makes me happy. And this makes me happy. And I just listened again. And then she kept telling me about, no, actually, at this point, I was like, I am kind of starting on that path as well right now of self-love. And she quickly just looked at me and she was like, don't ever let anybody take you off that path because there's going to be so many people in your life who will make you feel like you are the devil for wanting to love yourself, for wanting more for yourself, for wanting better for yourself, for wanting to surround yourself with better people and better ideas and better thoughts and better feelings. And so many people are going to shame you into not doing that anymore. And you cannot listen to them no matter how lonely you get because you know what? You are alone. And that's such a beautiful thing. That's such a privilege for you to feel yourself be alone and like be with yourself that fully. And I just like was shocked, really. I just was like, I mean, I know, and even as I say these things, I feel like everybody low key knows that, knows these principles about life, and and I think that's because we all fundamentally, we all know the truth. We all know the truth, and the truth is in you, but it's not until you fully accept it that your life will begin to flourish, right? And so she was telling me these things that I had already intellectually accepted, but like hearing that from somebody else out in the world in a couple hours from home, like on this solo trip, it's just like, man, my heart flooded. I wanted to cry so bad. But it was so fucking hot in that sauna, I couldn't even cry. But it was such a beautiful thing because, I was getting all my muck out, and I'm still getting all my muck out. Oh my God, I'm so sick. But anyways, so she told me about that, and it was a beautiful feeling. And then I went back and I showered. I got in the jacuzzi one last time, and I just sat there with everything, all the feelings that had come up on my 3 hour uh, stay there, everything um, that I could possibly feel. I sat with it, and I counted the tiles on the ceiling, and I held my breath, and I felt my breath, and I felt the warm water all the way up to my chin, and I loved it. I was in love with the feeling of no shame, of no fear, of no, like, I don't know, no hatred against myself, just loving myself. And it was such a loving, beautiful environment. And I definitely recommend it. It's called Jeju in Duluth, Georgia, for anybody that like really wants to go. If nudity doesn't bother you, I really do recommend it. It's super healing. It's super like accepting and welcoming, and everybody is different shapes, sizes, colors, and there's no like shame, there's nothing. I saw a woman with her child there, and it was so beautiful watching her like teach her daughter, how to take care of herself. And it made me sad because, I wish I wish that had been me, um, when I was young, having somebody actually sit with you and teach you all the things you need to, the necessities that you need to know in life, before. I'm not picking my nose. I'm just trying to make sure it doesn't run down my makeup. Oh, but anyways, um, instead of having to just survive as a child and being so focused on just surviving in a not very good household, I wish I was given the opportunities. But that's fine because, after having my daughter, I told myself, I don't want that for her. I don't want her to feel I don't want her to survive. I want her to live. And so that's what I did. And that's what started it, really, is the birth of my daughter. It helped me, accept the things that I can't change. And it helps me accept the fact that my happiness will never rely on somebody else, will never come from love, will never come from, I mean, happiness is rooted in love, yes, but it's not dependent on it. And I think that's just another thing. As I was leaving the bathhouse, I left the uniform and the dirty towels, but I also left my shame. I think I did. And I don't know, I got ready in my car, I did my makeup, I went to the mall, I bought me some stuff. I bought this really cool tarot deck, actually. It's called the Trickster's Journey. I don't, oh man, you can't see that very well because of the light. There you go. Yeah. And I don't know how to read tarot, but I'll learn. Anyways, I went to the mall and I dressed as I wanted to dress, and I got so many compliments, and I went to treat myself to some nice ramen and a really pretty purple drink. And the bartender, she was so sweet, and I tipped her big because she deserves it, and she was working really hard. Oh my God, I can't put blush on my nose because of my little boogies. Anyways, um, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful trip. And I would not have even done something like that for myself if I had never met my friend Hunter, if I was never instilled with like those ideas. I would have never, well, I say never, but I think actually deep down, I've always liked to put myself in uncomfortable situations and do things that make me purposely uncomfortable and put me out there because it's what I love doing. I love making myself uncomfortable and talking to strangers and getting to know them. And I've had so many weird little encounters and conversations and feelings. And I don't know, I've had such a weird life because I've always put myself out there. And for a long time, I let people make me feel ashamed of who I was and what I wanted to do and my hopes and my dreams and my feelings and my naivety. And I don't do that. I don't want to do that anymore. I'm not going to do that anymore because I just am who I am. And I think we have a lot bigger things to worry about than whatever the fuck I say in the internet, on the world, you know? Like, don't even get me started on the rich versus the poor right now because that's so stupid. Like, wake the fuck up, people. These business people that you're electing into office, they're not even politicians, which politicians don't even care about you, but at least they care about you a little bit more than business people because business people will eat your fucking heart out and they'll take your fucking money and they don't care about you. And so, anyways, we're about to see America collapse, and apparently aliens are coming. So, you know, I have no shame. I have no shame left, and I don't care anymore. And I am going to live how I want to live because for so long in my life, I came into this world and I already knew who the fuck I was, and I was myself, and I let the world dilute me. I let the world force feed me bullshit, force feed me shame down my fucking throat so that I could shut the fuck up and be compliant. And I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not. I don't care anymore. I have cared so much about what other people think about me, about what other people feel, about how other people see me, and for what? Or what? And what has that gotten me? Literally nothing, nowhere, and it's just held me back. And I do not want to be held back because other people are afraid to go for it, you know? And so I'm going for it. I don't know what it is, but I'm going for it. And I'm gonna go see the world and I'm gonna live and I'm gonna teach Sylvia to live. And she's gonna grow up one day and she's gonna watch these videos and she's gonna be like, wow, my mom is so cringe. And I'll be like, you know what? You're right. And that's fine because I don't care anymore. I really don't. And it's such a beautiful thing to not care anymore. I'm not going to let all the heartbreaks I've ever felt stop me from feeling and accepting love, especially not for myself. I'm not going to let other people's shitty opinions about themselves make me feel like I shouldn't love myself and that I shouldn't be who I am. I'm not going to let other people make me small anymore because I'm not small, because I want to take up room, and because I'm a human being with a heart, with feelings, with love, with heartache, with anger, with sadness. And I have so much in me that needs to be expressed in some way. And the way I express myself is through words. And I don't have really anybody I can fully express myself, fully 100% me. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to do it on the internet because I love doing it and I don't care. I don't care anymore. Anyways, my rant is over, I think. But yeah, fuck it. I left my shame at a Korean bathhouse, and it's staying there. And I buried it in the fucking vapor of that water, and I buried it into the jacuzzi, and I buried it with the sense of not being enough. I buried it there. It's staying there. The massage lady rubbed it out of my back. I'm not gonna feel ashamed ever again in my life. I'm not ever gonna wait for opportunities to make me happy. I'm not gonna wait for money to make me happy. I'm not gonna wait for materialistic things to make me happy. I'm not gonna wait for an opportunity to make me happy. I think I already said that. I'm not gonna wait for love to make me happy, like love outside of myself, because I am happy, because I am me, because I am connected to something bigger than me, because I'm a human being, because I have the right. I'm born with the right to be happy about who I am fully 100%. And just because other people are fucking ashamed and other people are miserable and they're digging themselves in a hole and they don't want to see you go any further does not mean you need to dig a hole for yourself. You know, you one day you just wake up and you get so sick and tired of surviving. So sick and tired. No, I'm not doing that. And I'm not teaching my daughter to do that. And I'm not teaching her to accept the bare minimum that life has to offer her because she deserves everything. Simply because she's alive, and simply because she's a great person and she has light, and because she is who she is. And I think that about everybody. I think everybody needs to know these things about themselves. Dang, I'm not even done with my makeup and I'm already done like talking about whatever the fuck I wanted to talk about. My shame. But yeah, anyways, I think that's all I have to say for today. It's just fuck shame. I fucking hate shame. and shame has no room to live here anymore. And so I hope that if you are somebody watching this and maybe you know who I am and you're like, oh my God, Joanna's so cringe. Joanna's always just on some shit. She's on some fucking weird hippie schizophrenia like type shit. Maybe I am. And that's fine. I don't even care anymore. And I don't know why you care. But maybe you're watching this and you're like, I've never heard her talk like this. I've never seen her be like this. I've never, um, and still I'm sitting here still thinking about what people are going to say about this. And it doesn't matter. I guess it doesn't matter. You know, I'm no longer closing my heart off just because I felt pain and suffering before. I will allow the pain and suffering to go through me because it's part of being alive. And my desire to live is bigger than my desire to numb my pain. And I think that's where I'm going to leave it off at. And so, yeah, I guess thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I'm not done with my makeup. I'm going to go finish it now. But thanks for being here in my pajamas while I'm sick. And I hope you have a great day.